The corruption mod just got a update, and just to be clear, I'm not talking about the Pibby corruption, but rather the original corruption mod created by Phantomfear. And this mod basically shows us a world in which a disease outbreak hits the FNF universe, and we get to see boyfriend, Pico, and girlfriend trying to survive while some of their friends and loved ones fall victim to the corruption. Now, as we go through this mod, I'm going to explain more about the corruption and how it affects people, while also explaining the lore and everything that is happening in the mod, starting with this cutscene.
君が噂の君のことはよく聞いているよ。まったく気に入らないけどね。分かってるさ。ゲームをしよう。
Now, I need to explain a few things that happened here. You may be wondering why Pico seems to be like so angry with boyfriend, and the answer is really simple. Boyfriend and girlfriend were amongst the first people to actually get corrupted, and the pair of them are the reason that Pico ended up getting corrupted. Some of you may remember watching this battle on Phantomfear's YouTube channel, or even some of the fan animations that showed up. And basically they had Pico fighting against the corruption. The other reason I think that Pico is a bit annoyed with boyfriend here is just because how stupid boyfriend is. Like in this scene right here, we get to see that boyfriend is shaking hands with this person called the Harvester, and while there isn't a whole lot of information about this character as of now, we know that they are not an ally to boyfriend and the rest of them. And it seems like their whole purpose is to collect souls for something called the Harvest Moon, which is why we actually see them using a powerful cube device later on. And lastly, we know that they are super powerful because they are basically able to snap their fingers and blow up the corrupted version of Tankman. And this is why I think Pico shoots them on sight. He knows that they're bad news and is really trying to just keep boyfriend, girlfriend, and himself safe. And it becomes clear very quickly that Pico was right, because right after that, the Harvester sends boyfriend back into the virtual world, and then out of nowhere, we're hit with like this sick anime opening, which I'll have to take out if it's copyright, but I think it should be safe.
Feel the next distance you down. Fire suicide can pay. 走れ諦めないで。呪われたらいいままでみたいに笑えないから Let's run away 道に迷ってもこの手をすんな Cause I can't ready to fight Corruption is breaking our souls But I can'tない自分しかいない To stay alive The harvest moon rises will be free So put me still today 大空を見上げて倒れない僕らの ambition
Now, some of you may be wondering why Senpai looks so pissed when boyfriend enters his world. And the reason behind this is because it isn't boyfriend's first time being into Senpai's space since the corruption has started. The first time boyfriend and girlfriend actually went into Senpai's world, they were still corrupted and basically tried to erase Senpai and Spirit. But luckily Spirit was strong enough to actually kick them out before they could do any real damage. Although by the looks of Senpai, it does seem like he is a little bit corrupted, but it's kind of hard to tell. Now, while boyfriend is battling senpai, we see what's actually going on outside with girlfriend and Pico in the real world. And as you can see, while girlfriend is looking for boyfriend, Mommy Mearest is able to find her. And some of you may not remember, but Mommy Mearest was corrupted while fighting against Pico, back when he was still infected, but no one was actually able to save her. And something else that I find sad about her being corrupted is that I feel like she's the only reason that they were actually able to get Daddy Dearest. Because back when he was fighting against the corrupted characters, he was holding his own pretty good until he saw that his wife was taken. And then you can see the moment he kind of gives up. And honestly, it was actually really sad to watch. And speaking of sad, we also get to see Skid here basically munching on his own mother, although I don't know where Pump is at this moment. If you remember, Pump was corrupted first, and since the boys are basically best friends, Skid decided to stay with Pump and be corrupted as well instead of leaving them behind. It also sucks that Pico was the person to find them, because even though Pico is kind of a sociopath, he is surprisingly good with children, especially Skid and Pump, which is why I think him actually seeing Skid kind of hit him hard. And the last thing that I want to point out here is that we can kind of see how the Harvester uses that cube to collect the souls of the people here. After that cutscene, we slide back over here to Boyfriend, and now he's battling against Spirit, and I really love the visual of this fight scene, especially the fact that he's kind of like floating in this void battling against Spirit. And towards the end of their little battle, it looks like Spirit forcibly takes Boyfriend to another part of this virtual world, and then he basically tells Boyfriend that he's almost taken everything away from him, meaning that Boyfriend has basically taken everything away from this virtual world in which Spirit and Senpai reside. And I think what he's talking about specifically is how Glitch Boyfriend, or aka Corrupted Boyfriend, came into their world earlier on and basically messed everything up. Now their interaction ends with Senpai telling Boyfriend that he just wants to be left alone, and if Boyfriend ever comes back again, he will put an end to his life, which may be what the Harvester was planning all along when he sent Boyfriend into this space. We then see Boyfriend get returned to the real world, but I do want to point out that there is a bad ending where Boyfriend actually beats Spirit and Senpai and is able to delete them. And the cutscene for that looks like this. Now back in the outside world, we see that Girlfriend is finally about to battle her mother, and their battle is interesting for a few reasons. You may have noticed that partway through the song, it looks as though Girlfriend is teleported to a forest and is running from a spider-like version of her mother, but in reality, this is all just in Girlfriend's mind. Apparently, the strings that Mommy Mearest has on her body can make a person hallucinate if they come into contact with those threads. So it's basically like these threads can put a character into a genjutsu. And in this case, the illusion is basically Mommy Mearest making her daughter think that she is turned into this huge spider monster. But I think Girlfriend is able to fight against it a little bit because she's also a demon and is pretty powerful in her own right, although I don't think she's as powerful as her parents. And this is why we kind of see her floating in and out of the illusion in the real world, because she is able to fight back somewhat. But as you can imagine, by the end of the battle, we see that she has been completely covered by the threads and is completely lost in the illusion, which is why she runs by Boyfriend in this cutscene here. At this point, girlfriend seems to be completely lost in her own mind, and that seems to give the harvester the opening that they need to actually take out boyfriend and absorb his soul into this cube, which is kind of a sad ending to this chapter, but we know that there's going to be more to come, and considering that Pico and boyfriend's alter ego, or aka soul boyfriend, is still alive, kind of gives us hope, because I know that Pico is obviously still going to put up a fight. And soul boyfriend is the whole reason that boyfriend, girlfriend, and Pico were able to break away from the corruption to begin with. So I think he's going to have a big role to play moving forward as well. There's also a song in a free play that has a character in it called False Thorn. And I know some people were confused about what was happening here. Technically, False Thorn is just boyfriend, but it's what girlfriend sees like in her illusion state, or aka while she's under Mommy Mearest's spell. So while we see that boyfriend is just his regular self singing with girlfriend, girlfriend sees a literal monster, which is why she says get out of my head during the battle, and also why she punches boyfriend in the jaw. Now there's also a comic in this mod as well that you can kind of look at if you want to get more information about Soul Boyfriend. And when I say information, I guess just learn a little bit more about that character specifically and the way that they think. I actually found it pretty interesting when I was scrolling through it. But with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this video on the screen here. Subscribe today to become a member of the Oars Force, and we will see you tomorrow with another video. Peace, peace.